Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be doing a little kind of chatty video, something a bit different that I've not done before. I just wanted to chat about the second baby and why Fraser and I decided to have another baby. When we started trying, how long it took us to conceive and how we felt when we found out. So I think it was not long after Fraser had proposed to me, which was last year, the 29th of November, and Fraser proposed to me in the cutest way. In fact, I'll post a video of when Fraser proposed to me last year. After the whole excitement of the engagement, everything started to kind of calm down. We were just basically starting to plan when we wanted to get married, and as you know, weddings are expensive, so we decided we wanted to leave it maybe a couple of years just to kind of save up some money and stuff. In that time, obviously, we have Ella. She was 6 months at the time. We were thinking, well, if we wait until 2018, then Ella's going to be 3. Then we're going to have a honeymoon. And then if we have another baby, there's going to be at least a 4-year age gap, which I wasn't keen on. I didn't want to do that. So we thought we'll need to have another baby before then because we definitely wanted to have a second baby. It made the most sense just to have another baby this year and try for a baby as soon as we could. Obviously, as you know, I then had to wait another month until we could start trying. So we tried from basically Christmas. We started trying for our second baby. We thought it would happen straight away, considering I just had a baby. I wasn't still breastfeeding at this point, but I hadn't long stopped. Given all of that it would have happened right away, because people say that you're the most fertile after you've had your baby. So Ella was only 6 months old, and I just assumed that meant I was really fertile, but then never happened for a further 6 months. Fast forward to Ella's birthday. It was the day of Ella's birthday. It wasn't the day of our party, but it was the day of our birthday. We went to the zoo and we had such a nice fun family day, and Ella loved it. I think her favourite thing was the penguins. We had a really lovely day, and then when I came home, I don't know, something just hit me all of a sudden, and I thought, I think I'm a little late. I had a pregnancy test already in the house, having already tried them like every month before then, and I took the test when Ella was in bed. I think it must have been about 8 o'clock. Like that, because of the 6 months before that, or the 6 times we tried before that, every single test came back negative. We were kind of used to getting a negative result. We just didn't think it was going to happen very quickly for us, which obviously it took a little while. When I went and took the test, I couldn't believe it came back positive, and I was in a bit of shock for a second, because it's something we've been trying for like so many months. And I was in a shock, went down the stairs, and Fraser was sitting, I'll never forget it, he was sitting sprawled back on the couch, and he had a bit of birthday cake on a plate, and he was just like stuffing his face with birthday cake. And I was like, there's the test. And he wasn't that interested, just because we'd had so many negative results before that, and I think he would be expecting me just to run down really excited. I said, look, it's positive. And he was kind of shocked for a second, and he went, oh my god. So we had like a big cuddle and everything, and it was great, and he still had a mouthful of cake, which priorities always with the food, and we were excited. See, within about, I would say, half an hour, I was in floods of tears. I was so upset, and the feeling of guilt just totally was so overwhelming. I felt so guilty that I had this baby that just turned 1. It was her birthday, and I was just I felt as if I was like almost replacing her already. It was awful. I thought that I would be excited and happy, and it's what we've been trying for like half a year, and then for it to turn around and be this overwhelming feeling of guilt, it was just horrible. And obviously I was sobbing my heart out, and Fraser, he was just giving me a cuddle and saying I was being daft, and it was probably just hormones already and all this kind of stuff, but it wasn't. I felt terrible. I felt so bad. I felt so guilty. I thought, what are you doing? You've already got a baby and you're having another baby. Are you crazy? Why are you doing this? And by that point, obviously then realising it was too late. You've already made this decision, this baby's already here now. And then I was so torn. I felt as if I was being torn two different ways. I was so happy to be pregnant. I felt so guilty for having another baby, and then felt so guilty that I wasn't appreciating the fact I was pregnant with my next baby. It was just a horrible feeling. That kind of lasted, I would say, it lasted for a few weeks anyway. Even when I told people that I was pregnant, I still felt horrible, and it didn't help the fact that people kept saying to me things like, oh, remember, you know, Ella's still going to be a baby by the time this next one comes, you'll expect too much of her, and all these kind of things, which, do you know what, that was already the things that I was thinking in my head anyway, without someone having to tell me that, which just confirmed my feelings even further. So I was a little bit upset for a while, and then I think I only started feeling better about it when I was announcing it. I think once I got to my 12-week scan, well, I think I got it at 13 or 14 weeks. I think that's the only point when I started to feel okay about it. I didn't feel as bad because everyone was saying, you know, that's such a lovely age gap and what a lovely thing you're doing for Ella, giving her a brother or a sister. And I spoke to my friend daily. She kept saying, you know, you're being daft, you're being really, really stupid to be upset about this. You should be happy. You should be happy you're having another baby. You should be happy you're even able to have another baby. And you should be happy that Ella's now going to have a best friend to play with. I think that's maybe a romantic notion, but hopefully they will get on. But that was the one thing that probably helped me, was the fact that Ailey was saying, could you imagine just having an only child and them having no friends to play with? Like, you would feel bad. So I think from then I started to feel better about it. But I would say more often than not, I'm happy about it. Obviously I'm delighted, but I do sometimes have that feeling come back, that I feel really overwhelmed with guilt. That feeling really started to diminish when I found out the gender. When I found out I was having a boy, it's made it so much easier for me to accept that I've got two children and they're both going to be so different. Not that they wouldn't be any different if it was the same gender, but I think the fact that Ella's always going to be my girl, and then I'm going to have this new little boy, it makes it easier for me to separate it in my head and understand that you can love two children. I think you just look at your firstborn and you think, how could I ever love something else as much as what I love you? I'm going to start crying. How could I ever love someone as much as I love her? I can't imagine it. I'm going to feel terrible when this baby's born, when I look back on this vlog and seeing how upset I'm getting just thinking about how I hope that I have it in me to love another baby just as much as what I love Ella. I'm obviously just being really stupid. I think this is kind of a normal feeling. I've spoke to my mum about it and she said she felt exactly the same, but yet again although she never found out what she was having, she had the experience of having a boy and having a girl, so I was the second baby and she loves me. So I can only look at that and think that everything's going to be okay, and I'm not going to feel like one's getting treated differently from the other. That's my only concern. I just want everything to be fair. I want them both to have the same amount. I want both of them to have the same amount of attention, the same amount of love, the same amount of stuff, the same amount of friends. I just would hate if one of them had an easier life than the other. I just couldn't do that. There's no way I could treat any of them differently. But it's difficult at this stage to try and understand how I'll be able to have another baby and give them as much love as what I give to Ella. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those ones you're not going to know until it happens. And maybe it's just an amazing thing. Most parents say that when they have their second baby, it's so natural how it just comes to you the second time round. I think that knowing Ella's going to get to a stage in a few months' time, after the baby's born obviously, that she's never going to have known any different, I think the jealousy factor might not be as bad, whereas if she was maybe 3 or 4, she would remember what it was like just being her. That's probably making it a lot easier for me. I thought I would just give you a little update on how we found out and how I feel about it, how I'm trying to deal with knowing that I'm going to have a second baby. Don't get worried when you watch this video, I'm absolutely fine, I'm not depressed or anything. It's just, I think this is a normal feeling and maybe more people need to chat about it. Let me know if you've had the same kind of feelings, and I will speak to you soon on my next vlog. Thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and let me know what you think as well in the comments below. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.